Sorrel from our feelunique officers is getting married this summer, so she's asked me to show her some makeup techniques and do a bit of a wedding trial. So this is the English rose, so it's flush cheeks, pink pout, belly their eyes, and a really radiant skin, which is what I'm going to work on first. So first of all, you need to really press some serum into the skin. You get a lot of really lovely light reflecting moisturisers now, and this just plumps up the skin and keeps it looking fresh and healthy. See how dewy the skin's looking already. So you're looking for a moisturiser that's really hydrating, but you don't want it to be like too thick and heavy on the skin. This one's the Estee Lauder Enlighten, which is really radiant, beautiful. And to follow on from the Enlighten moisturiser, I'm going to use Enlighten EE cream, which is extraordinary, I love it. So you might want to use one of these EE creams, BB creams or CC creams, but if you need a little bit more coverage, you can go for a liquid foundation. And so I'm going to fade it down to the throat, and you can also fade it away with just a regular moisturiser, and we can set it a little bit with a fine loose powder, which does a great job. If you decided to do some tanning before your wedding day, think ahead, because light frequent applications always look more natural than doing one heavy one just beforehand. So you might find you're getting a bit stressed just before the wedding, and the lips and things can dry up. You really feel that emotion in the lips. So there's some great lip scrubs and lip treatments, like this one I use on my clients all the time. This is the Clinique lip treatment, which is amazing. And one of my favourite tricks is when you go to bed, just pile loads of it on your lips and on your face, and you wake up so hydrated, it's gorgeous. So the best thing to use around the eyes is a reflective pen, and these are amazing. So I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Double Wear Blush On Glow, which is a lightning pen, so it's got concealer and light reflective in it. We all know Touch Eclat, which is amazing, and L'Oreal Paris do a gorgeous one, so they're really good for all budgets. And I would say it's an essential part of your makeup kit, whether it's wedding or not. And it will really stay the course without you having to retouch it. It doesn't sit in the fine lines. So once it's on, you can completely relax and forget about it. Now, if you do have any blemishes, you need to use a cream concealer because it has more pigment in, and you don't want it to be light reflective. And then just get a fine brush and then just paint any fine blemishes you can see. So I'm going to add some beautiful pink now to the cheek, and these chubby sticks are so easy to use. So this lovely tea kind of pretty pink looks beautiful on Sorrel's blonde hair, but if you have a darker skin tone, you can go for the more raspberry type pinks, which look great. If you have an oilier skin, you're better using a powder blush because that will hold better on the skin, and I'd also advise to go for a liquid foundation rather than the E, CC or BB creams we've been using, because they hold better for the skin. So as you can see, I'm working from one side of the face to the other, and I'm building up the layers gradually. You need to come back, have a look. Building up fine light layers is a lot better than putting on one thick layer or just putting on a fine one and leaving it. It's beautiful on the lips. So you could add a bit of balm or gloss if you wanted to shine it up a little bit more. So a balm type lip colour never really lasts that long, so have a few of ammunition and hand them out to your groom, your mum, your bridesmaid, your best man. So people have one on hand if you need to do a quick touch up. And then when I'm using one of these, what I tend to do is just do, close your eyes, a tiny sweep here into the eye, just to warm and tone in this eye area. And then I'm going to add a nice fleshy tone shadow, just to give a subtle emphasis, and this has just been swept across the lid into the socket. It's not really registering too strongly as a colour. So all these tips, layering up all the colours, the bases, will make it long-lasting, whether you're the bride, the mother of the bride, the bridesmaids, the guests. It's beautiful makeup tips for everybody at a wedding to use. When applying your mascara, it's always the same, fine layers. So you can put a couple of layers on if you need to, but don't go too heavy. So it's nice to do a light eye, because if you're thinking of the wedding, the chances are you're going to have a white or a very light coloured dress on. So this beautiful ethereal style makeup really works for a wedding day. These are genius little products. I love these bottom lash mascaras. And you can just touch it, touching it into the lashes at the bottom. And then you can do the trick where you just close your eyes and just press it. I generally don't really like to use eyelash curlers. I know some people do. But I think mascaras do such a good job of helping shape the lashes now. Now the brows are going to keep light and natural. I might just feather in a little bit of colour. Just touching it where it's a little bit finer here. What I'm going to do now is set the makeup and de-shine certain areas. And I'm going to use probably my lifetime favourite ever product, which is this Clinique transparent loose powder. I like to use a loose powder because I find it lasts a long time. You don't need to retouch as quickly as you would with a pressed powder. And I think every celebrity I've ever done has had this particular powder on them. I'm going to apply it with this, which is actually a foundation brush. I like the control of it, so I'm just doing a rolling, pressing technique. We want to keep the dewiness of the skin, but just tone it down a little bit in certain areas. And that's the forehead, around the sides of the nose, slightly up to the eye there, cheek crease. And then softly brushing here so it goes into hardly anything but has a little effect there. So if you're worried about shine during the day, I would advise getting a pressed compact. The lovely pressed powders are also useful, which you can just take out and press. And be photo ready. So the good things about using these is they don't build up any extra powder. They're also quite handy for the groom if he wants to use them. The English Rose, it's romantic and ethereal. Sorrel, you look a dream. So the key things are a huge amount of hydration we did at the beginning, the serum, the moisturiser. It's all about feeding that skin with great hydration so it lasts all day. So we're talking blush cheeks, pink pout, barely their eyes, but we do put some mascara into the eyes because you don't want to take it to a high fashion look. This keeps it beautiful and classical.
So with the look that we're doing today, we'll begin by taking these clips out of the sides. So we're just going to add some hairspray to the hair. Just spray evenly throughout. We're going to start by putting one plait either side of the hair. And the great thing about this is that you can actually take them out a little bit afterwards, make it a bit messier. So just start by taking a really loose plait. Doesn't matter if you miss some hair out, you can always tuck that away at the end. Well, the great thing about this is all the girls that are with you on your wedding day can do this for you. Now these sort of styles work really well for people who have that kind of grown out root look, which is quite popular at the moment. Now the best thing with these plaits is to follow them round in the direction that you want them to be. As you can see, this hair braids really well. As we're coming through to the sides, you can just start to begin plaiting your hair normally. So if you've got a lot of hair, you may want to take a slightly smaller section than I have. Now as you can see here, I'm braiding through the ends of the hair. So to secure our plait, I'm just going to spray the ends of the hair, grab a comb, and just back comb really gently to secure that in. And it doesn't need to be perfect. Remember, less is more with these things. And you might want to just give it a spray at the end just to hold it in place. So you can see there what we've created is a really loose, really natural plait, really gorgeous. And we can mess it up now, we can wait until just before your big moment, or we can do it at the end. It's all up to you. So far we have two very loose plaits coming round to the back of the head, really beautiful. And we're just going to lift, we're going to take a small section through here and we're just going to spray really gently. And this just gives a really excellent texture. So taking small sections, lifting the hair up and spraying it right behind the hair there. That'll give you all the hold you need. Once you're happy with your volume, your height, your messiness, you can then begin to take your plaits. So I'm just going to take a couple of grips from the side here and just pop them in. And if you want to get this really secure, you can weave that through your plait and then back down, rest that on the head. So what we have here is a really quick, really modern, really easy, stress-free hairdo for your big day.